seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining, and they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Ervin. Ervin and Curry, one-on-one. Ervin puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yo. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on Stacks, lads. Joined with my man, Swerving Ervin Washington, who I know is very, very sad right now. His Broncos taking L.
I wouldn't say I'm sad. I'm just more upset.
It's week one.
That we lost to a 2-3 win team at best. I guess them being at home played a part in it, but bro, I give a L is a L, but honestly, 100%, we beat ourselves tonight. It's no way we should have lost to that sorry ass team.
We're gonna get to the game in a second. We're gonna go through every NFL game and give quick reactions to them. We also are gonna talk about some college football. But before we get started, I do have to mention we are being brought to you by Tavour. Make sure to go to Tavour.com or download the Tavour app straight to your mobile device and use promo code Taproom for $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. So with that being said, Irv, let's just hop right into it. Monday night game. I told you all summer the Seahawks were going to cover this game. Like, dude, I bet it +5. I bet it +6. I bet it +7. I even threw a half unit on Seahawks money line. This is the NFL, baby. And if there's one thing we learned this preseason, I hope people that are new to betting, because, I mean, dude, this took me a long time to learn, is that this is the NFL. And the great teams aren't, the gap between the greatest team in the NFL and the worst team isn't that big that people think. These are professional athletes.
Like 7 points, honestly. A touchdown. Most games you never see the spread go over a touchdown. Unless the team is just absolute dog shit.
Yeah, you do see some other ones, but especially on the road. Yeah. Right? Road favorites -7. Road favorites -7. Only one of them, they went 1-2 this week straight up, or 1-1 straight up, I should say, because there was a tie between the Colts and Texans, which we'll get to later. But let's talk about this Broncos game, dude, because the Broncos were one of many teams to not really play starters during the preseason. We saw all weekend, Irv, it reared its nasty head with a lot of these teams. The Cardinals, the Rams, the Packers.
The Packers.
So many teams that didn't play their starters. Basically, the only teams that succeeded was the Chargers, Bucks, and the Vikings. But two of those teams played other teams that didn't start any starters. So either way, we were going to have one team win. But basically, we saw a lot of teams that they weren't good, right? Even the Chargers, they win that game against the Raiders. They didn't. To me, it wasn't like, wow, this team won this game. Like, I felt like the Raiders did more to lose that game than the Chargers did to win that game. I don't know if that sounds fair, but I felt like that. But specifically this Broncos game, I mean, this is a Broncos team, high expectations, Ervin. This is a Super Bowl contending Broncos team. And here they are against the Seahawks, a team that's over-under win total is 5, I think close 5.5, and they lose outright as 7-point favorites. What's your takeaway? Because you're the Broncos fan, so I want you to let it all out right now. Tell us about this game, dude.
My takeaway from this loss is you can't over or underestimate any opponent. Not saying Denver did that, but us starting off sloppy as hell. We didn't turn the ball over. We moved the ball at will. What killed us is the red zone turnovers and the penalties. We literally, on one drive, had about 35, 40 yards worth of penalties, and that gave them a touchdown.
Yep.
So we have to clean up our play, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We shut them out in the second half, which is a good sign. But we had 12 penalties. I'm pretty sure at least 7 or 8 of them was on the defense, and all of them was drive extenders. the roughing of the unsportsmanlike conduct on Patrick Surtain. They called a bullshit ass taunting penalty, which was on a third down that extended their drive again. They go down and get points. So basically, what I gather from this loss is that Denver has to clean up a lot of their mental mistakes, and we got to execute a lot better in the red zone. You don't get in the red zone 3 times and not score no fucking points and win a game. That's really what killed us at the end. And then I don't know what the hell Hackett was thinking. When did Justin Tucker become our fucking kicker? We don't kick fucking 60-some yard field goals to win games. We don't have Justin Tucker. McManus has a leg, but a 64-yard field goal on the road? Nah, give me Russell Wilson. He has what, the second, third. I know he's top 2, top 3 in comeback since he's been in the NFL. So that's probably my biggest takeaway is that we got to clean it up. Good thing we do play Houston next week, but shit, if we play like we played tonight, we ain't beating no damn but playoffs. You want to talk about playoffs? Shit, hopefully we can win a game.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that may come true. But I mean, it is week 1, and like you do go into Seattle. Russell Wilson's, first game with a different team happens to be against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I said all along. Like, that was my angle at it. Like, it's just an unusual, like, position to be in, dude. Like, we never see that, right? So I did think that was going to be tough. Russell Wilson did actually play pretty well. I do think that there is some issues with the offense, though, Irv, especially from the consideration that, like, he didn't target a wide receiver until the last drive of the second half. So I do think that there is some chemistry issues that need to work out.
That was more of the defense that the Seahawks was playing. They was playing a shell coverage. So basically, they bracketed Sutton, whatever side Sutton or Judy was on. Besides, when they went man, when Judy had the 67-some yard touchdown, they was playing bracket coverage over the top of where was lined up on that particular side of the field. So basically, they was gonna let either Russ go after the 1-on-1, which was probably depending on what side of the field he was on his right hand side, or he would have to hit his hot reads, which is the quarterback, or go over the middle. So we moved the ball at will. The problem was is the coverage that they played. They forced Russ to dink and duck down the field. They didn't. The times they did try to go man, he was either a pass interference, a long touchdown, or a big gain. So they knew they couldn't stick with us in man coverage. They had to play zone, and Russ had to make smart decisions, which he did for the most part. 300 and something, 300 plus yards, no turnovers, 29 for 42, some shit like that. So Russ played a great game. It's just Hackett has to get better at play calling in the red zone, and we got to stop fumbling the damn football.
Well, also, Nathaniel Hackett, he's never really called plays that much before. So it's really something new to him. I also think, too, like, Russ's one touchdown throw was not a good throw. Like, he underthrew that shit. Like,
yeah. That was
Judy had Kobe Bryant beat. Like, all he had to do was drop that in the basket. That was a TD.
The DB was beat terrible.
So, honestly, I was surprised that Judy made that catch. When he underthrew that, I was like, oh, shit, he's going to pick that off. Because he got beat and he just turned around and the ball was like right there. But hell of a catch, hell of a play by Jerry Jeudy. He really saved that one. And that's going to be something going forward for the Broncos. Ervin, is that they have to be better, dude. They have to be more crisp. They have to. I'm tired of Melvin Gordon getting the ball, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he like I text on the game chat. Death taxes and a Melvin Gordon fumble. Dude is guaranteed to fumble at least once a game. And the cold part about it is when he fumbles, 9 times out of 10, you lose the damn ball. That's the worst part about it. And he fumbled. If he could have held onto the ball and just stretched out, that would have been a fucking touchdown.
Yep.
But again, it's Melvin Gordon. He fumbled. Red zone.
Javonte Williams fumbled too in the red zone. So.
I know, but his was more of a shock because Javonte barely even fumbles. That's probably what his probably.
And honestly, that his
the
way he fumbled was just like a perfect hit. It was literally just a perfect hit.
Yeah, he put his helmet on the ball, so I'm not really upset with Javonte's fumble the way I am with Melvin Gordon because he's known for this, and we kept giving him chance after chance after chance to do the same shit over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Hackett has to get way better with his clock management, and he has to ride or die with Russell Wilson. You don't settle for a fucking 64-yard field goal on the road against a crowd that's probably one of the most ruckus crowds in the NFL. So
Yeah, that was a fucking boneheaded ass decision, dude. Even when they were letting the clock run down there
yeah, I'm like,
before they
why the fuck
called,
is they letting the
yeah.
clock run? You call a timeout, you dial up. You only really gotta get
And
a
they had been
first down.
driving, and they've been getting like 5, 6, 7 yards of
Yeah, exactly.
play at all
Because the
second
dude
half.
is his range is pretty much from 60 to 63 because he had his career long, I think, is a 61 or a 62 yarder.
Yep.
So it's not out of the realm for him to kick that, but you don't want him kicking a 64-yard field goal with pretty much no time left on the clock, and you sitting there with two fucking timeouts, and you don't go for it on 4th and 5 when you've been moving the ball all damn game.
All
It's
game.
not like they just stopped us that many times.
Nope. Well, I mean, I think once Jamal Adams went out, like the Seattle's defense totally changed because that 3 safety look was working,
Yeah, it was
especially because
working.
they were taking away like the flats and the short passes, and that's once that Jamal Adams went out, that's when Denver really started moving the ball like freely.
Yeah, I hope he's not out for the season though, but it wasn't looking good because wasn't putting no weight on his knee, or they wasn't
It was
letting
weird
him
because at
move
the
it.
time it didn't even look like anything happened, and then
Yeah.
and then it was like, oh shit, that's crazy. But I mean, as far as Seattle going forward, what do you think about Seattle? Because I mean, I still don't think they're going to be a great
Yeah,
team.
I'm gonna be honest. Good win tonight. Celebrate your Super Bowl. We all knew this was a Super Bowl, but going forward, bro, that team is dog shit. Like
Gino first half looked like the best quarterback. Second half,
yeah,
woo.
they looked terrible. So maybe they'll come out and run their scripted plays, and maybe they could get up on the team and try to ride that to a victory. But bro, we know it's the reason why Geno Smith ain't started an NFL game in 8 years. He's Geno Smith,
Yep,
and
he's an
he
average
looked at like
quarterback.
Geno Smith that whole second half. Besides, what they didn't even score the second half.
No,
So
they didn't. That's why it's shocking that
yeah,
they
that they
won the
won the fucking
game.
game. Like we should have like no cap. We should have won that game by at least. We should have won that game by at least 13 or 20 points. Due to us not executing, they win the game by 1 point.
That's the NFL, baby. That's what is so.
So
That's what we love about this sport, man. Is any given Sunday,
yeah, good
any
luck
or
to
Monday, I guess anything
yeah,
can
good
happen.
luck to the Seahawks. Good luck to Riley, but bro, that team is dog shit. If they
That is one big pile of shit.
they're actually probably a 3-win team max.
Nah, they'll win 4 or 5 games. Their coach is too good not to. But
Nah, even
that defense is better than I expected. And I'll be honest, like Broncos moved the ball pretty freely once Jamal Adams went out. But still, like they were a good red zone defense last year, and they're still a good red zone defense this year. I know they got 2 turnovers. How likely is that to happen game in and game out? You
bro,
can
this
never
is
really
the
tell
first time this happened in NFL in damn near a decade. A team fumbling twice
at the
on
1
the
yard line.
So if that's what they need to win games,
Good
good
luck.
luck, Seattle.
Yep. No, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that analysis. All right, let's move over to some college football, Irv, because we had a wild weekend of college football, man. It was a fucking excellent weekend.
Yeah, I think it was 6 top 25 teams lost, or
6 top 25, 3 top 10 teams lose. All right, I'm sorry, 2 top 10 teams lose. Baylor and Texas A&M.
Yeah,
right?
2 top 10 teams lost.
2 top 10 teams and then 3 top 15 teams. Florida
It
losing.
should have been 3 top 10 teams, but we're gonna hold off on that.
Oh shit! Sorry, 3 top 10 teams did lose. Notre Dame, Texas A&M,
Oh yeah, they did lose.
and
Okay.
Baylor.
Okay, it should have been 4 then. My bad.
Yeah, so great weekend, dude. How did I forget about that Notre Dame game? All right, so let's start it off with Nebraska, though. Not a top 10 team
Yeah,
at all. They lose to Georgia Southern and Clay Helton, 45-42. I mean, Ervin, we said it to the beginning of the year during the Big Ten preview. You know, this was a big year for Scott Frost, and he had to perform this year, or else his head was on the chopping block. After week 0, losing to Northwestern.
I told you he wasn't making it through the season. They
You
looked
did.
horrible in that game, and then on top of that, you can't. Georgia Southern's an FCS school, right?
Nah, they're Sunbelt school.
Oh,
FBS.
Sunbelt. They just moved. I think they moved to the FBS
Yeah.
like 2-3 years ago.
Yep, them in
Bro, they had
Appalachian
over
State.
they had over 600 yards of offense on Nebraska.
Clay Helton team too.
A Clay Helton led team had 600 yards on Nebraska. Scott Frost, pack it up. I don't know where you're gonna land. Enjoy that $15 million buyout. It's curtains, buddy. I knew in Northwestern, did they lose to Duke?
I don't know if they lost to Duke, but they were like 10-point favorites in that game, and
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
close all game.
check and see because that'll be my final point. You lost to a team and then lost to another team that lost to Duke.
Let me see your Big Ten. Where we at? Northwestern lost to Duke 31-23 at home.
Yeah, so that sums up Scott Frost's coaching career this last month.
Yeah, it sucks because I like Scott Frost, man. I thought he did a wonderful job at UCF. I mean, he really put UCF on the map, to be honest. And but I've been saying it. I told Michael, a couple weeks ago, like some guys just are better without the spotlight, and some understand that. Like guys like Mark Few I know I'm going into college basketball, but Mark Few of Gonzaga, Jay Wright of Villanova, like their expectations aren't they're not extremely high. They created those expectations, so no matter what they do, right? Zaga and Jay Wright, Villanova, no matter what they do, it's like, dude, they're kings, right? Because they created those expectations. Well, Scott Frost goes to Nebraska, where he won a national championship as the quarterback, and he built that UCF program up. So his expectations were to compete for national titles. That's what Nebraska fans expected. And whether or not, I know both of us don't agree on that. We don't agree that that should be the expectation.
I agree. That's a blue buzz school. Nebraska is one of the best college football programs.
Things have changed though.
Of all time. I know it's changed, but if you're a fan of certain schools, you're always going to expect your team to compete and be in a contention for championships. And Nebraska is one of the blue buzz schools. They had one of the greatest runs in college football history. So no matter what,
they also tried to bring that coach back and fired him.
Yeah, that didn't work. But no matter if you're young, old, whatever, you're always going to remember. You're going to have a family member. You're going to have somebody that's going to remind you of the glory days of your certain school. And Nebraska is trying to find that glory, just like USC was. We've been trying to find it for damn near two damn decades, but we finally got it right.
Totally different situations, though.
Considering
that Los Angeles is like the number 1 or 2, depending on the way you look at it, recruiting hotbeds.
No, but it don't matter. When your talent is leaving, your school's not winning, you can be a hotbed all you want. If you're fucking trash or you got a lame duck coach, nobody believes in you. And that's the problem. It's hard enough to recruit to Lincoln, Nebraska. Nobody's going to go to Lincoln, Nebraska.
That's what I'm saying. Like, expectations for USC should always be national titles.
Yeah, because our recruiting, but Nebraska is pretty much the same thing, especially when you factor in their history. Because no matter what, history, my people say history don't really matter like as much as it used to, but to me, being a college football fan, pure has been one majority of my life. History always matters at certain programs. You're not going to tell me history doesn't matter at a program like Nebraska. When you can
it matters. I just think that it's unrealistic for people to think that Nebraska will ever get to that spot again. They won't, dude.
They probably won't if they don't hire the right coach.
No,
honestly, they should have never fired Bo Pelini. He wasn't a bad coach. He just needed to hire the right offensive damn coordinator.
Yeah,
they
should have hired Scott Frost as offensive coordinator,
and kept Bo Pelini as their head coach. They would have been a lot better off. Hindsight is 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, Scott Frost, just pack it up, man. Good luck to wherever you land. Nick Saban might even say no to you. Well, I think you're a better play caller than Bill O'Brien. So shit, hopefully you get the OC job at Bama when Bill O'Brien
takes the head coaching job in Nebraska.
Takes the head coaching job at Nebraska.
Oh, dude, how funny that'd be. I don't know who I was talking to, but it was on Twitter, and they were saying like, "Oh, where do you think that Nebraska is going to go, or that Scott Frost is going to go?" And I said, honestly, he's a guy that works well under pressure, so I could see him taking a smaller FBS school like a UMass or a Temple or something like that and building them up to being a good team. Or I could definitely see him being the offensive coordinator for Nick Saban, because that's like the perfect Nick Saban hire. Like, that's what he does. He takes good head coaches that are good at recruiting but they're not necessarily like great head coaches. They're good at one thing. They're good at one side of the ball. Scott Frost is a great offensive coach, dude. He's proven that, right?
Yeah, he is.
But he's not a great head coach, and he needs to learn how to be a head coach, and he can go do that under Nick Saban. You know what I mean? So that wouldn't be a bad landing spot, in my opinion. That'd be good for him. But Nebraska does have a lot to get together. Let's talk about the Texas A&M game, dude. So Texas A&M at home to Appalachian State. I think the game closed 24.5. They were big favorites against Appalachian State, and they lose, dude. And they only put up 14 points, Ervin, at home.
This is indicative of what Jimbo Fisher has been since he left FSU. Until he finds a quarterback that can actually make plays and run his, I would even call his offense that innovative no more. I think his offense is pretty outdated. It's time for him to hire a young mind and grow and change and do something different.
Yep.
Yeah, and that O-line got dominated by Appalachian State, bro. Like, I don't know where Appalachian State got these players from, but they're not they not playing like they a Sun Belt Conference team, bro. They're playing like a real Power 5.
Well, the Sun Belt it's a good conference, dude. And I think this, the North Carolina game I thought really, put the conference on the map. But I mean, like, this conference is good, dude. They have good teams.
Yeah,
dude.
but
Coastal Carolina is a good team.
They shouldn't be beating the number they was ranked number 5 or number 6.
Number 6.
I
agree with that. And
if they gonna beat the number 6 ranked team, it should be on a last second field goal, a last second Hail Mary, something like that. Bro, they should have won. They clearly could have won this game easily by 10 plus points.
Yeah.
That's how much they dominated A&M on both sides of the ball.
Well, I also think that, now we have to start looking at Jimbo Fisher, and it's like, okay, maybe he just got lucky and had a great fucking quarterback in Jameis Winston. Like, maybe he really isn't that good of a coach.
He had an all-time great quarterback in Jameis Winston, from what the looks of it has been since Jameis Winston.
Yeah, he hasn't done nothing, dude. He hasn't done anything without Jameis. Nothing. So now that has to be the only thought is, the chances of finding another Jameis are slim to none, especially with his track record of quarterbacks and developing quarterbacks, I would say. But
he hasn't developed a quarterback since Jameis. He has Texas A&M, and like we said before the season, 7-5, 8-4. They'll be lucky to get to that.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like that.
They better up them NIL deals. If not, it's time to pack them up too.
Bro, they're already paying too much money for NIL deals, bro.
They're going to have to pay double, bro, because it's almost time to pack them up.
Oh, shit. We're already here with it. We're already here. All right, let's talk about another SEC team, which we were very high on, and then it's going to lead me to a whole other conversation, which I want to get into, which we've kind of talked about off the show. But Alabama, we said on Wednesday with Chris, like, this was a game we all saw Alabama just smacking Texas. But we also, all three of us did also say we weren't sure how Quinn Ewers was going to perform. And if he could play, Texas had a good chance to cover. It would show us a lot about Texas. And I think we learned.
That Texas might be the best team in the Big 12. Now, they do have to hold it together because Quinn's going to be out probably 3 to 4 weeks.
Year, dude.
So they definitely got to hold that together, but they showed enough that they can easily win the Big 12 with the way they played. And low-key at times looked like they was dominating Alabama. Now that Bryce
They should have won that game, dude.
Yeah, that Bryce Young incomplete safety, whatever that was, that's
the worst call in fucking football.
That's one of the worst calls I've ever seen since the Tuck rule. That was a damn safety. I don't care how you paint it, how you structure it. That was a damn safety.
That was a damn safety, dude. It absolutely was a safety.
And I will go out on a limb and say if Quinn Ewers doesn't get hurt, Texas definitely wins that game.
Yep. Nah, I 100% agree with you. And we were texting during the game too, and we were like, dude, what the fuck is out? Like, what's going on? Alabama didn't look like a Nick Saban coach team.
That secondary,
100 yards in penalties, dude.
yeah, that secondary was getting torched by Worthy. If
Yep.
they had another dude on the other side that was just as fast as Worthy, bro, it would have been a track meet.
Well, and once Quinn Ewers went out, it was like game
yeah,
over.
and
That
I
kid
thought,
made every throw, Irv.
yeah, and I thought Alabama secondary would just needed experience. They don't look good at all, bro. And I don't know why Elias Ricks wasn't on the field. I don't know if he was hurt in the doghouse, facing some type of team discipline, but he
Not
definitely
good.
should have been out there on that field because that secondary looked a complete butt. Now it's looking like it's Georgia and everybody else because even Ohio State don't look that good, bro. Like,
Nope.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, dude. And let's transition into that because that's where I wanted to go next. Is like, before the season we were saying it's Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, and then everybody else. And even personally, like I didn't think Georgia was gonna be able to repeat because of how much they lost on that defense. But now I'm looking at it and I'm saying, well, Stetson Bennett looks pretty fucking good, dude. He looks like a real quarterback. And Georgia, they look really good offensively, and they still got dogs on defense. Oh, we got some music. We don't have any music. All right, but back to Georgia. Like, this is a team that might be the national title favorite or at this point. Do you agree with that?
I'm not. Even though it's only 2 weeks into the season, I gotta keep it real, bro. It looks like it's Georgia and everybody else.
Yep.
Honestly,
I 100% agree.
I don't know. I don't know how that happened. You lose 5 first-round picks on defense, and you still looking like the best team in the country, top to bottom. And they receivers is better than I thought they was gonna be because
Plus, they
those
have the
three,
two best tight ends.
they 3 deep at tight end with NFL draft picks, and all them dudes can ball. So
Offensive
good luck
line.
against Georgia. It's gonna be some tough sledding. Tennessee looked as shaky at times against Pitt, but I think Tennessee, that's gonna be a big game. They're gonna definitely give Georgia a run for their money. I think that's probably, if Bama played the way they played against Texas, they lose by 2-3 touchdowns minimum against Georgia.
Yep.
So
And I'm also
even
gonna.
though it's
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
even though it's week 2, teams got to step up and look a lot better. And I thought my Trojans was gonna have some growing pain. Shit, boy, we looking like I'm about to put that playoff bet in a minute.
I was just about to say, I think this kind of opens a door for a team like USC because honestly, I heard a lot of. So first of all, a lot of like good college bettors that I respect, they were all over Stanford plus the points, and I kept telling them all week, like, bro, you guys are betting against USC because of the history and the rivalry of Stanford, and that you think Stanford's going to come out and play. For sure, they're going to come out and play. But you guys are disrespecting the USC and the talent they've had. And not only the talent, but they've always had talent. It's about the coaching, right? Oh, my
Dad's
God.
work. Meet daughter's playtime.
This goddamn shit. Sorry. But the USC, people are disrespecting this Trojan team, dude. And at this point, they're undervalued, in my opinion. They're absolutely undervalued. They're 2-0 against the spread, so they've beaten market expectations twice. And people are still undervaluing this team. Sharp money's on Fresno State once again. 12.5. Dude, they're less of a dog than Stanford was at home. And people are saying, oh, Fresno State's going to cover. Fresno State couldn't even beat Oregon State at home this weekend.
And they couldn't block them too. So it's honestly, I get it. People gonna take that wait and see approach with USC until we damn near 8-9-0, probably 10-0, or we beat Utah or something like that.
This
but
team
I'm
looks
telling
better
you,
than I thought it was going to now.
Yeah, I expected us to come out and probably win games by 7 to 10 points. Lincoln Riley is an amazing coach. He's an amazing offensive coach. But if that defense keep forcing turnovers, and even if I don't like bend but don't break defense, but if they keep playing it at this level and not giving up points or just giving up field goals, and that offense ripping off 4-5 possessions in a row with touchdowns, it'll be like 2019 LSU. Their defense wasn't world beaters. No. They were just scoring so many touchdowns and putting so much pressure on you. If you had a turnover, a missed field goal, and I go down and get 7, if I average 45, it's going to be hard to beat me if you only scoring 24, 30, 35, 20, 30 something points. And it's looking like USC, if they stay healthy, man, it's the sky's the limit. I don't see no defense that's gonna be able to completely shut down that offense. They
Nah,
got too
especially
many weapons.
after what we saw with Alabama. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like their defense doesn't look like world beaters by any
At
stretch of the
all.
imagination.
And it is not, and if it's not elite level defense, you're not gonna stop USC from scoring less than 30 points.
Nope, not at all. And I will say one thing I was a little concerned about on Saturday is that in the second half they only scored 6 points. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And people would say they took their foot off the gas, this, that, another. No, they just wasn't executing. Lincoln Riley said it.
They got to
He's not,
execute a lot better.
yeah, he's not, we can't get comfortable with a lead. I don't care if we up 41-0. We gotta go score. The mindset is to score every time.
Yep.
Travis died, Caleb Williams, Jordan Addison said they're gonna get on the guys about it. And no lead is safe. We got to put everybody in the dirt.
I also thought they like stopped running the ball. Like they were averaging like 7 yards a carry in the first half, and then they like stopped running.
And the biggest thing that's surprising me is the O line, bro. They playing at a damn good level right
Fierce,
now.
and they're rotating 7, 8 guys.
Yeah, and Stanford doesn't have a great front seven, but they have a FBS pretty good front seven.
Yeah.
Don't nobody just line up against Stanford and run the ball like that. So
well, they did struggle. They did struggle last year running the ball, but yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's also a rivalry game too. So like the fact that you win by 10 or more points that's huge, dude.
And you on the road, and you pretty much it was 41-14 at one point. Could have got a lot worse.
Could have got worse. It should have got worse.
Yeah, we just have to we just got to sit back and relax and enjoy, because until somebody proved that they could stop that offense on multiple possessions, USC didn't face a third down on offense till the second half.
Nah, the end of the first half.
Wait, was it in the first half? Yeah, because I texted about it and I jinxed them. But baby, just like I said,
you literally said that in that very possession they got a third down.
Let's ride.
2 downs later.
USC is back. Fuck all the rest of y'all schools. I don't want to hear from Oregon fans bragging about beating Eastern Washington. Like, bro, why are you even talking to me? Like,
they got a big game They got a big game this week against BYU, which we will be previewing on Wednesday. So y'all definitely gonna want to tune into that.
You already got my pick for that. But I'm loving it. Keep Lincoln Riley. Let's keep it rolling, baby. Caleb Williams is looking like the Heisman favorite. And if he was a junior, he hands down right now look like the number 1 pick.
Caleb?
Yeah.
He's not draft eligible.
I know. I said if he was draft eligible, he would be the number 1 pick because he's playing better than Bryce and CJ Stroud.
The Heisman agenda is going up, baby.
Yeah, I know. He's second now. He officially second.
So this will be interesting to see the rest of the way. And like a lot of bettors I heard talk today about Caleb Williams are saying like, oh yeah, well USC isn't playing anyone and they're not really gonna play anyone, so he's not really gonna get Heisman moments. But it's USC, Los Angeles, California, second largest media market in the world, and yes, they'll be playing Utah and they'll be playing Notre Dame, which is a huge rivalry game, just like Stanford was. Stanford was on national TV. It was like game of the week on ABC. And everybody in the nation just saw Caleb Williams fucking scorch Stanford. Like, what are we talking about here? Let's stop those stupid narratives. Let's put an end to this, man. Because if they go to the college football playoff and Caleb Williams keeps playing like he is, he's the Heisman, bro.
Yeah.
After what happened with CJ and dude, Bryce Young looked like shit against Texas, dude.
Didn't look good at all. And if he was an inch taller, they would have lost the game because he wouldn't be able to avoid that sack. So his size actually helped him out on that third down play. But I think Alabama, this probably is their early season wake up call, because if it's not, they could probably lose 1 or 2 games, bro. Because if it's a team with a better QB and
Tennessee
and the QB doesn't get hurt, well, they wouldn't see SC. The only way we playing Bama will be in the playoffs or
Tennessee.
Or Tennessee. Like I said, yeah, Hendon Hooker, if they defense can hang with Bama, if he plays the way he's capable of playing, they could upset City.
And I mean, they went into a hostile environment in Pitt, dude, and they handled business. And they didn't look good at times, dude. They didn't look good at times, I will admit, but they pulled it out, dude.
Them in Kentucky showed me a lot this past weekend, and Notre Dame packed them up.
Tried
I
telling
hope.
I tried
I
telling
hope.
both of you and Chris about Kentucky, and you guys refuse to listen.
Wait, I said Kentucky could be good.
No, I'm talking about you. You and Chris both took Florida. I
Oh,
was
I
the
took
only one
Florida
that took
based off
Kentucky.
them being at home, but they don't got that home for the advantage is gone now. So, oh, I'm
Well,
not
the biggest
surprised.
problem
I
with
said,
well, the biggest problem with Florida, Irv, is we said it
yeah,
against
AR can't
Utah.
throw the ball, bro.
Yeah,
If he's not beating you with his legs, you gotta. If you make him beat you from the pocket, you have a good chance at winning. That's why Utah lost. They couldn't stop him from running.
well, they also didn't have
Kentucky
the
did.
film on him, really. You know what I mean?
No, he played a good amount of games last year. It wasn't the film. They just didn't have the playmakers on defense to do what they needed to do.
They
If they
needed
would have
Devin
still had
Lloyd,
Devin
dog.
Floyd and the linemen that they had last year, Utah probably win that game by 10 plus points. But their defense is young. They got 2 transfers at linebacker. They just didn't. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I'm actually Utah might get served by SC, but we gonna hold off on that. Notre Dame pack
Hey,
it up.
they beat who did they play? Southern Utah University,
Utah,
dude.
they
They
put up
beat
73 points. If they didn't put up 73 points, we would like, was you supposed to do that? But
they took their fucking frustration
yeah,
out though, dude.
just though Notre Dame, just give Marcus Freeman time to grow his program, man. Don't fire the brother after 1 year. Just give him some time, man.
I think it is tough though, dude, because Notre Dame is coming off. They were down for a lot of years between Lou Holtz and Brian Kelly. They get Brian Kelly and he kind of brings them back, right? And then now, Marcus Freeman goes 0-3 in his first 3 games, dude.
Well, the first game he got to throw out, bro. He was missing a lot of starters.
Okay,
He got
0-2,
thrust into
dude, and you
being.
lose to Marshall.
Yeah, there's no excuses for that. That quarterback, even though he's out for the year, they probably
didn't look good.
hopefully they can get better quarterback play. But bro, he got to hit on one of these court. He got to put the full court press on Dante Moore, who's committed to Oregon right now, and get him to South Bend because he could start as a true freshman, and the sky could be the limit once if he reaches his limit. But teams like that, if you gotta have a quarterback, man. If you don't got a quarterback, you
screwed.
You're not playing with house money. Good luck.
Nick Saban finally learned that shit because that dude would put fucking just valedictorian white dudes out there.
Yeah, come on now, bro. He was winning championships with
AJ McCarron.
AJ McCarron wasn't bad. He was an NFL talent, but the dude before him, what's his name?
I forget his name, but AJ McCarron was NFL caliber backup, dude.
I know, but that's still a good quarterback on the college level because he's good enough to get drafted. So I mean, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna be good.
Stenson Bennett's gonna get drafted, and I don't think he's gonna be a good NFL quarterback.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah, that's basically. I would say
just like
AJ
Colt
McCarron,
McCoy got drafted.
I would say AJ McCarron is like a Stetson Bennett. He's good enough to get drafted and be a backup, but he's not gonna be a franchise QB.
Yeah.
Nick Saban was winning with Greg McElroy, John Parker Wilson, people
McElroy,
like that. Like, so he definitely learned his lesson because he's had some elite quarterback play these last 4 or 5 years. Tua might not be the Tua he was at Bama, but he was setting the world on fire at Alabama.
Yep, and this guy right here was telling everybody he will not be a good NFL quarterback, but people refuse to listen. That's okay. I'm not an NFL talent evaluator. I'm just a bettor who watches games with dollar signs, dude. That's all I do, or try to do, I guess. All right, let's go through all these NFL games real quick. We'll hit them real fast.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of bring it all. We'll circle all around at the end. So, first game, Bills versus Rams. Bills closed -2.5. A lot of money came in late on the Rams. This game ends up 31-10 Bills. Ervin, what was your takeaway in this game?
The Bills are the real deal. Plain and simple. They got 6 sacks and didn't blitz on none of the sacks.
Yes.
You gotta go against that and try to beat a top 2-3, guaranteed top 2 or 3 offense. At worst, they're gonna be top 5. Just good luck. If they don't at least make the AFC Championship, this season is a complete failure.
No, they were the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl. I think they proved a lot of people right about the offseason talk. This looked like the best team. But on the flip side, I think the Rams, everything I've said about the Rams during the offseason and why I don't like them kind of came to fruition. Their offensive line is worse. It's not as good. They couldn't run the ball at the end of last year. They still couldn't run the ball, and the Bills are a good team, right? These are the kind of teams you need to beat. And then on defense, they look old.
I wouldn't say they look old. They just
looked
look
old.
They looked sloppy and they looked unprepared because they didn't play none of their starters in the preseason. That was another team that played no starters in the preseason.
Yeah, but they got a lot of old guys, dude.
They don't have a lot of. Bobby Wagner is probably the oldest person on that defense. They actually don't have a lot of old guys. Aaron Donald, I wouldn't consider. He's an older guy, but I wouldn't consider him old.
Bro, if you're over 30 in the NFL, you're old.
No, you're not. You can't say that.
I'm over 30 and I'm saying this, dude. And obviously, I'm not an NFL athlete, but
okay, well, that's totally different. Me and you compared to an NFL athlete.
I'm just saying, I don't consider myself old, but on the NFL field, I consider over 30-year-old old.
You can't say that because they got Bobby Wagner, bro. And even at him being 34,
Jalen Ramsey looked cooked last year in the playoffs, and he continues it right away here.
Who, Jalen Ramsey? Yeah, Jalen Ramsey. I don't know what it is. He's went from playing within himself to trying to make a play every game.
He's old for like an NFL cornerback, dude.
Bro, he's not old. He just signed an extension.
He's old for an NFL cornerback,
bro,
dude.
He's still in his 20s. How is he old?
How old is he? 28, 29?
I don't know how old he is, but he's not old.
I watched Patrick Peterson once he hit like 29, dude. The dude fell off a fucking cliff.
Well, your defense wasn't shit. You can't.
We'll get to the Cardinals.
Yeah, you can't depend on him to do everything.
I'm still down on the Rams. High on the Bills.
You could definitely be down on them.
All right, let's move on to this next game. Saints Falcons. Saints close -5.5 favorites. This is the only game you, me, and Ben all agreed on. We like the Saints -5.5. We all take an L here. Saints win 27-26, but honestly, if they played the way they played the second half all game, they probably win this game by 40, but they didn't.
But they needed a wake-up call, so I don't think this is not going to be indicative of what their season's going to be, but I still think easily they the best team. They not the best team in that division, but they can challenge Tampa Bay for that division easily, especially if Winston stay healthy, because that second half is the Saints I'm expecting to see for the most of the season, not the first half.
100% agree. I like the Saints still. I think that they are the best team in this division. I like them to win this division still because the Cowboys are fucking dog shit. But we'll get to them soon. Let's move on to the next game. We got the Browns against the Panthers. This game closed as a pick'em. We talked about this game last Tuesday, and I said that I like the Browns here. Honestly, Jacoby Brissett was a lot better than I expected. But Baker Mayfield is still Baker Mayfield. Browns win 26-24. What's your thoughts on this game?
The Browns, if they could win as many games as they can till Deshaun Watson come back, they could set themselves up for a playoff run. And the Panthers, Baker Mayfield, pack it up. Y'all not going anywhere. Hopefully they trade Christian McCaffrey to a contender because he deserves to be on a team that's going to contend for playoffs and championships. But
one more question about this game. Does Matt Rule make it past week 6? Over, under 6.5?
I think he makes it out of this season, but I think he's getting fired at the end of the year.
Because they do have that new owner, dude.
No, the owner hired Matt Rule, but
I know, but they have that new, but he's like been steadfast about being a winning team.
Okay, well then he's pack him up. He's gonna be gone. I think he ends the year, but he's not going. I don't think unless they just get totally creamed these next 4 or 5 games, then he might get fired by week 6. But I see him at least competing enough to earn the respect and to coach the team the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think if they don't make the playoffs this year, he loses his job, which means that he will lose his job because I don't see this team as a playoff team.
And they definitely gonna draft a QB because Baker Mayfield ain't it.
Nope. Let's move to the next game. We got the Bears against the Niners. This game closed 6.5. It was 7 at some spots. The Bears win outright 19-10 in just a horrendous weather game, dude.
I love the under, but this weather I can't judge either team based off how bad that weather was. Good win for the Bears. It gives them some motivation, shows that they can compete. One thing I will tell you, that defense can compete with anybody. The Bears still have a pretty damn good defense.
It's all right. I still think the Bears are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. If really they had like a window of opportunity with no weather and the Bears happened to have the ball during that time, and that was the difference in the game. I mean, Justin Fields I didn't think was better than Trey Lance at all in this game. He made a couple throws, but that was when the rain wasn't pouring, and he happened to have the ball during that time. Trey Lance never did. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and it was a like broken plays too. But he just made plays, but I get it.
yeah. So I mean, I agree with you. It's tough to take away anything from these teams. I don't think we'll know about these teams. You got to kind of throw this one out the window. And the home team won, which is why I took the Bears plus 6.5, because I think in this kind of situation it was too many points to lay for a weather game like that. So 100% agree with you. Let's move on to the next game. Steelers Bengals. The Bengals closed almost -7 favorites, -6.5, -6 depending on the spot. Steelers went outright 23-20. This was the game of the atrocious kickers, dude.
Yeah. So, what I got from this game, the Bengals, if they had the kicker can make one kick, they win. The Steelers probably gonna be competitive, but I think this might would if Watt is out the whole year because they say he might have partially torn his pec. Don't know if it's a full tear,
Pack
but
them up.
if he's out the whole year, pack him up. I could see him probably going 500 because Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, so I'm not gonna say he had one until he has one, but I don't see them competing, winning the division, nothing, because a kicker only had to do was make an extra point and they win the game. Well, that got blocked, but
They
yeah,
had a new snapper in too, so
yes, yeah, that threw the timing off completely. The Steelers aren't going anywhere. The Bengals are still a division contender, a playoff contender, shit, hell, a Super Bowl contender. O line look way better.
the Bengals?
Hmm?
The Bengals?
Yeah, they didn't give up. Joe Burrow
Man,
didn't get sacked 6, 7 times. He threw interceptions, but he wasn't under siege the whole time.
no, that's true, but I mean, like, I don't know. I thought the Bengals looked pretty bad. But it is one game. It is the first game of the season. And the Steelers, like, notoriously, like, own Cincinnati in Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Like, it's just something that exists. So it is what it is. Week 1, I think that's one of those games that's not going to dictate a team season. But Steelers being without TJ Watt, I mean, this was a borderline 7-8 win team. Without TJ Watt, whew, I mean, that's one of the best pass rushers in football. You know what I mean?
He's a reigning defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Defense loses.
There's very few defensive players where I'm like, if he's out of the game, will it affect the point spread? Him, Aaron Donald are like the two that are like, if they're not out there, dude, it's a totally different ball game. Let's move to the next game. We got the Eagles and Lions. Lions close 5.5 point dogs at home. Eagles -5.5. Eagles don't cover opening or closing line. They open -3.5, close -5.5. They lose outright on all of those, but they do win the ball game 38-35. What's your thoughts about this Eagles Lions game, Irv?
Lions is never say die. Eagles was up by what, 38 to, was it 20 at one point, or
No, it was 38-21.
38-21. So the Lions fought back. They play hard for their coach. They just got to find a way to win close games. Until they do that, they're going to be that team that can almost compete. Eagles looked like what we expect them to be, a good running team. Hurts made enough plays with his arm. That defense left a lot to be desired because the Lions did score 14 points in quick succession. So I want the defense to play a little better. Derek Barnett going down doesn't help them. He is one of their better pass rushers, so they gotta rebound from that. But the Eagles did what they were supposed to. I did think they was gonna cover, but as long as they got the win on the road, it's still a good win.
I'm glad you brought up the Eagles defense because I am on the opposite side. I expected their defense to be a hell of a lot better, and the Lions kind of carved them up there at the end. I know they were winning the game, but the Lions, Jared Goff was back there throwing dimes, dog. You know what I mean? If Jared Goff's doing that, it's not all good. And I do still have concerns about Jalen Hurts because throughout most of that game, he was hovering around 50% or less. And really all of his pass completions were slant passes to A.J. Brown. And the Lions already have a weak-ass secondary, which we knew coming into this game. And I think when they go against better teams, like those kind of passes aren't going to be available. And he really didn't target any other wide receivers other than A.J. Brown in that game. And I already don't think Jalen Hurts is a good passer. And until I'm proving otherwise, I'm going to keep saying that. However, the best thing that happened to him this weekend was Dak Prescott getting hurt because now this is definitely their division to lose.
Yeah, they're not winning. They're not losing this division unless Cooper Rush comes.
There's no
Um,
chance Cooper Rush does shit, dude.
exactly. Or if they trade for Jimmy G.
Yeah, but I mean, even their offensive line sucked. Like their wide receivers suck. I don't. That was a bad team we saw on Sunday. We're gonna get to them in a second. Let's move on to the next game real quick. We got the Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins closed -2.5. This was one of your top 5 best bets, Irv, and you hit it. You went 3-2 this week, or
I thought I
4-1.
went
Sorry,
4-1.
4-1. Big week, dude. Big week. Big week. What's your thoughts on the Dolphins Patriots game? This game finished 20-7, and Mac Jones is out for a few weeks.
Tua has to be able to stretch the ball downfield for me to take the Dolphins seriously. They beat a team they were supposed to. Patriots, Bill Belichick's lost it, man. He has Matt Patricia as his OC. Until he hires competent coaches and keep trying to recycle the same coaches, I don't see them contending or being a playoff team no time soon. They'll never fire Bill Belichick. He'll retire, but it looks like that retirement needs to speed up a little bit.
That's facts. I mean, I don't have much to take away from this game. I thought, Miami already struggles against Miami at home. My only concern was, I should have put this as one of my best bets too, because it's a bet that I liked, but I didn't. And shame on me for taking the fucking Raiders +3.5, which we're gonna get to shortly. Let's move on to the next game. We got the Ravens, Jets. Ravens closed -6.5 point favorites at most shops, -7 some places. They went outright 24-9. And cover money line, cover everything, and the under hits. The Jets, Robert Salah still got to figure it out. Ravens, I mean, what was your thoughts on this? Because I know the Ravens were one of the teams that didn't play starters in the preseason.
Yeah.
They didn't really look that good, to be honest. They looked like they were playing the Jets.
Yeah, it was 17-3 most of the game until that bomb, right? So it looked like
Yeah.
you said the Jets are the Jets. They didn't even have Kyle Wilson. So Sauce Gardner looked good some plays,
He did.
but until they have a legit QB, they can have a good defense, they can have good pieces, but they're not going to be able to bring it all together until they can figure out that QB position. Hopefully Kyle comes back and balls out, but until he gets back, we're not going to have a true
Sense of this team.
sense of who the Jets really are.
I agree. 100% agree. All right, let's move over to the Jags and Commanders. Commanders closed -2.5, and they win outright. I know you like the Jags. What was your thoughts about both these teams? I thought the Jags left a lot of points on the field.
Jags left a lot of points on the field. They left 21 points on the field to be exact, and they still should have won the game. I don't know what the hell they was doing on that third down, and the DB didn't even look up and try to challenge for the ball. He just turned his head and watched Dotson catch it.
And
So
Travis Etienne had a lot of drops.
yeah, he had like three drops,
That would have
and
been touchdowns.
all of them impacted the game big time. So they just got to execute better. You can't leave points on the field, especially double-digit points as an NFL team. That'll get you beat all the time, just like my Broncos tonight. So just make plays. And then that last interception by Trevor Lawrence was horrible. What the fuck was he thinking?
I think he was trying to force it, but yeah, that was an ugly throw. I thought that was I just thought that was a game that the Jags kind of gave away, dude. That was like my overall takeaway. Like, I didn't leave that game thinking, oh my God, dude, the Washington Commanders are so much better than the market said that they were. No, I think the Jags gave this shit away.
Yeah.
Let's move over to the next game. We got the Giants and Titans. Titans closed -5.5. This was one of my favorite bets of the week, was Giants +5.5. Daniel Jones, him and Brian Dable go at it on the sideline. He comes back, throws a touchdown drive, leads them down, throws a touchdown pass, and a 2-point conversion. Saquon Barkley, he's back. What's your thoughts on this game here, Irv?
Titans lost that game, and you can't call yourself a playoff team losing the games like that. You gotta find a way to finish off the damn Giants.
Well, I think at the same time is that they lost that game. Like, bro, let's be honest. The last drive of the game, the refs kind of like escorted them down the field. They gave them 2 pass interference calls, which basically put them in field goal range, and they still couldn't capitalize on it. Which is when we say the ball never lies, dude. The ball doesn't. All right, let's move over to this next game. We got the Chiefs and Cardinals. Whew, man, sad one here. Chiefs closed -6.5. And I mean, dude, this game was never close. It's 44-21. The score doesn't even dictate how bad the
Yeah,
Cardinals
how bad
looked.
this game was. I think it was 28-6 at one point, right?
I mean, it was. I don't even remember, dude. I honestly stopped watching it because it was horrendous. And Steve Keim, I've been saying it. He should have been fired years ago when he had the DUI. There's no point as to why he's the GM of this team right now.
Yeah, I think at the end of the year, Kime and Kingsbury gonna be gone, especially if y'all don't look a lot better before D Hop comes back. Because if y'all 1-5, 2-4, by the time D Hop comes back from that 6-game suspension, you could pack it up because what's going to
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins doesn't even change the outcome of that game on Saturday.
Exactly. So you're not
Vance Joseph still. I mean, Vance Joseph. He can't coach. He sucks, dude.
Yeah, Vance Joseph fell off, man. That game was all bad. I gotta give the Chiefs credit. They still the team to beat in the AFC.
Yep, and their defense looked phenomenal, dude. And I said that all offseason, Irv. I was the one hyping up the Chiefs, man. I think at this point the Chiefs are undervalued. I thought last year they were overvalued. This year they're undervalued. And I told Ben one of my favorite bets of the week was Chiefs -5.5 when it was 5.5. I wasn't gonna take it though because anytime I bet against my team wins and I lose my bet. And anytime I bet on my team, they lose and I lose my bet. So,
damn,
I try to stay away from that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Should have taken Chiefs though. Chiefs looked really good. Cardinals look like dog shit. Cardinals open +3.5 in Las Vegas next week, and it's already been bet to 4.5, which tells you what the market thinks of the Cardinals as well.
Will they play the Raiders?
They do play the Raiders, and I had tickets to the game, and I actually sold them because I don't want to go fucking see that dog shit team. Let's move over to the Chargers and Raiders. So, Raiders closed +3.5 dogs. Chargers -3.5 at home. I like the Raiders in this spot because the Chargers don't really have a home field advantage. That's basically the Raiders. That's basically the Raiders' real home field advantage.
LA.
So I like the Raiders in that spot. Close +3.5. I get the hook on the touchdown. Chargers win outright, and they cover 24-19. Raiders had a chance at a 2-point conversion to actually hit the spread. And Derek Carr can't make the play, which seemed to be the whole game, dude, to be honest.
Yeah, it's that O-line and Derek Carr is...
And we said their O-line was going to be an issue.
Yeah, that O-line and Derek Carr is going to take that team as far as they're going to go. Because even though I thought the defense really ain't shit, they played better than I thought they would. They probably might play a little bit better as long as they can stay healthy.
Yep.
But that thinness they got at corner is definitely going to be a concern because you're depending on... Hobbs looks like the real deal. Rock Ya-Sin looked solid, but if either of those two got to miss some time or they're not on their A game, you got to depend on Anthony Everett at whatever his first name is. I thought they re-signed Damon Arnett when I saw them red dreads, so that's never a good sign. But yeah, so it's just that depth in that secondary because Trayvon Moehrig was hurt. He had to go out for I don't know if he finished the game. So yeah, that depth at the secondary is a concern, and their pass rush, they got some pressures, but
they don't get to him.
Yeah, they didn't sack Herbert.
I told y'all Chandler Jones wasn't him anymore.
Dude. Yeah, they was great. Raider fans swore they was getting prime Chandler Jones, so we got to see what that's gonna be. But yeah, that O-line looked horrible, bro.
Yep.
Lil Mack revenge game. Remember, Raider fans said they won that trade, but it didn't look like it. It didn't look like it on Sunday.
Nope. I agree, dude. And the Chargers are one of the teams that didn't play starters, and I thought that at times they definitely looked like it. I thought the Raiders, though, I agree with you. Their defense looked a little better than I anticipated. They probably should have covered this game had it not been Derek Carr making those mistakes. However, huge concern because the Chargers missing their best cornerback in the game.
And they still
couldn't take advantage of it. And Devontae Adams went off in the game. He had a great game.
But nobody else did nothing. Well, Waller had a couple nice plays, but
they missed 2 touchdowns because their quarterback couldn't make the pass. And one of them, the one to Devontae Adams, which he beat the secondary. He would have walked in for a touchdown if it was a good pass. He underthrew him by like 15 yards, dude.
Yeah, that interception. I don't know why they claim Derek Carr has so great arm strength and can push the ball down the field.
Not
So
there.
all his interceptions is always on over either overthrown or underthrown, like underthrown balls. All three of his picks in that game were underthrown balls.
Underthrown. And that one Devontae Adams, that was a walk-in touchdown, dude.
Yeah, he had at least a step or two on that on Sante Samuel Jr.
Aaron
Adams is
Rodgers
the
puts
real
that
deal.
in the basket, dog.
Yeah, Adams is the real deal. I gotta give him credit. They came up with him. He's definitely gonna change the way that offense look. But if that O line can't hold up,
But they
and
got Derek Carr got to get him the ball.
exactly what I'm saying. If that O line can't hold up and that defense allows too many touchdowns, then they're gonna be playing from behind a lot. And do you trust Derek Carr having to come back for you all the time from behind? He could do it more often than not, but he ain't gonna be able to do it all the time.
Yep.
So
Shout out to Eddie, Steady Eddie, making excuses for Derek Carr on Twitter. He didn't respond to me. I responded to one of his tweets. He didn't respond to it.
He's probably the biggest Raider homer there is. So he's never gonna. Raider fans ain't never gonna face facts when it comes to Derek Carr. That's like
ever.
That's a undying, unconditional love they have for that dude.
Yep. All right, let's move over to the next game. We got the Packers at the Vikings. Vikings closed +1.5. This was another one of your best bets that you hit, Irv. Vikings went outright 23-7. I mean, after Aaron Rodgers threw that ball to Christian Watson, he dropped it. The game was absolutely over because Aaron Rodgers lost trust in his receivers. The whole game changed after that.
His whole body language showed it. Shout out to Sean Lowry. Shout out to my big bro Chris. True stomp down Vikings fans. I picked them to win the division. I'm calling it now. Pack the Green Bay Packers the fuck up. They gonna be bums, bro. I don't like Aaron Rodgers' body language. Everybody kept telling me that defense looks good. They got a lot on that. I mean,
they held them to 23 points.
But they got torched by JJ. And if Thielen was
in the first half, and then they shut him down in the second half,
that's fine. But if your offense can't score, what's the use of shutting somebody down? You already spotted them 23 points.
No, for sure. They have to get better offensively, but I like Romeo Dobbs. I like Christian Watson. I think that they're going to be just fine. We got to remember this is the same Packers team that got fucking waxed by the Saints in Jacksonville week 1 last year, right? So I think the Packers will be fine. I thought
they could make the playoffs, but they're not winning that division. The Vikings winning
the Packers are going to win this division. They're the best. No. They're the best team in this division.
They have the best quarterback. They're not the best.
They're the best team. They also have the best run game. They also have the best running back in this division.
Okay, and what did that show you against the Vikings on Sunday?
That was the biggest problem, is that they didn't establish the run, which I thought it was a huge problem.
And LaFleur is never going to lead with the run as long as Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback.
Well, he better change shit around. And then when Christian Watson missed that pass, I mean, the whole game just changed after that point.
Yeah, the dude doesn't trust his wide receivers. It's plain as day.
He will. He will. He said all the right things during the press conference, man.
Yeah, he also the same dude that lied about being vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, but he does do ayahuasca and shrooms, so he's a good dude. I trust dudes like that, bro. That's
all
good
right,
stuff.
Trust them winning that division.
Well,
I'm saying it now. Alvin, Joe, Rudolph, pack up your damn Packers. Pack them some cheese because they're gonna be eating a lot of cheese this winter.
Packers will win this division. Let's put a wager on it. I'm giving you one game too. What do you want to bet on it?
What, you want to bet shots of Henny? I gotta drink a nasty ass IPA. What you want to bet?
All right, let's do. That's a great idea, actually. So this is a bet. You have to drink 2 IPAs on the show if the Packers win the division. If the Packers lose the division and the Vikings win, but you have to take the Vikings. If the Vikings or Packers don't win, bet's washed.
All right.
If the Packers lose, I have to drink Hennessy. And I guarantee I will throw up. Like, I guarantee I will throw up on this show.
All right. It's a bet.
All right. 2 IPAs, Hennessy for me. And I'm praying this doesn't happen because, dude, I guarantee I take 1 shot of Hennessy and I will throw up. I'm going to have a bucket right next to me, dude. Because, dude, like I can't even stand the smell of Hennessy, dude. The
Well, you
smell of
better
Hennessy
get-
makes me want to throw up.
Better get your stomach ready. Maybe you'll like Douce better. Maybe Douce won't make you throw up. It's smoother than Hennessy.
Nah, no way, dude.
Yeah, guy. I'm telling you, if Hennessy guaranteed to make you throw up, I think you can stomach.
I think it's
Douce.
just coney. No, it's not it's not stomaching it. It's a smell, dude. Like,
Oh, you don't like the smell of it? Okay.
well, no, I drank it one time and had a bad experience. Like, you know, I drank too much of it when I was younger. And so ever since then, it's just like Sailor Jerry's, dude. Have you ever had Sailor Jerry's spiced rum?
Yeah, hell no.
Like, I can't do Sailor Jerry's anymore because when I was in college, you know, there was one time where I drank way too much of it. So now every time I smell it, it just brings up
Sick
those
to your
memories, dude. And it
I
makes me
feel you.
sick, dude.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: liquor tastes better when your life's a little fucked up. So it's gonna be.
So when the Packers lose, my life will be
yeah,
fucked up.
yeah. So
I mean, even though I'm not a Packers fan, but
you'll be all right.
in that instance. All right, let's move over to the next game, the Sunday night game, the last game we're going to talk about. Buccaneers, Cowboys. Buccaneers closed -2.5. This was another one of your best bets. We were actually going against each other in this. I had the Cowboys +2.5. You had the Buccaneers -2.5. Walk me through a little bit of your thought process and why you thought the Buccaneers were going to cover and what you thought about this game.
I had a good feeling the Buccaneers are going to cover because Dallas has too much unknown on offense, and then Tyron Smith going down for the amount of time he's going to be out totally puts that offensive line in shambles. He was the one anchor, him and Zach Martin. When you got 2 offensive linemen and 3 average, you could probably be all right. But if you just got 1 good offensive lineman, everybody else is a question mark, your whole offense is going to be a question mark. Tom Brady did enough. He has enough chemistry. They have a decent run game, so they're going to be able to work around not having a good O-line against teams that's not better than them. But when they face upper echelon teams, this team is going to run into the same problems that Dallas got because they wasn't able to run the ball, and the O-line didn't give Dak enough time to make passes. Even when Dak did have time to make passes, the receivers were dropping it. They wasn't
overthrew him by 10 fucking feet.
Yeah, he was overthrowing them, so it was not good. And then we come to find out he had his messed up thumb during the game, tried to play through it, had to get taken out. So it's not looking good for the Cowboys. That's especially if Dak misses 6 to 8 weeks, which is basically 2 months. You can pack the Cowboys up. They're not winning this division.
Yeah, so my thought process on taking the Cowboys was very similar to why you bet against the Cowboys was because I thought, you know, the Buccaneers missing 3 offensive line starters. I was like, oh, shit, the Cowboys are going to be able to get to him. They're going to knock him down. They're going to make his life living hell. It actually was true, dude. They only scored 19 points. You know, they only scored 19 points. However, you were right about the Bucs getting to the Cowboys offense. I thought the Cowboys were going to put up enough points to at least cover the spread. Thought this was going to be like a 1-point game. So I was wrong. And, you know, the Cowboys are, I mean, without Dak, this is a dog shit team. Dak didn't even look good regardless. But, yeah, this is a team, Ervin, that might be the last place team in the NFC East. And if I'm Jerry, dude, to be honest, like,
McCarthy got to go, bro.
So, well, yeah, he should have been gone last year.
Yeah.
But they're probably going to bring in Sean Payton at the end of the year. And then kind of retool. But, I mean, to be honest, they might as well lose every game and get a better draft pick
possible.
Get Will Anderson Jr. alongside Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons. Ooh, that'll be nasty.
I called it. I called it here first, dude. I called it here first. They're going to lose. They're going to get the number 1 overall pick. And they're going to draft Will Anderson Jr. alongside Micah Parsons.
Well, good luck, NFC East if that happens.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's get out of here. Ervin's getting sleepy.
Nah, I'm good. Shout out to Paul Hackett. Broncos on 1. Better get your shit together versus the Texans. I'm going to give you a pass tonight because I know y'all should have won this game. But don't. I've been talking a lot of shit this off season. Don't let me down, big dog.
I feel like I don't have any best bets for tomorrow.
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't even looked at the slate yet. But definitely tune in on Wednesday because we'll be going over the college football slate. And tomorrow night, we'll be going, if you want to join Ben and I, we'll be going over NFL games again. So maybe Ervin will be on with us. We'll be talking NFL. We'll get some NFL best bets. We did pretty well this week as a podcast. That's because Ervin and I did pretty well. Ben went 1-4. So we'll talk to Ben tomorrow about that.
Step that game up, Biz. I'm counting on you. Big ball and Ben Larson.
We'll talk about that tomorrow with Ben. So join us tomorrow night, 9:15. We'll be live again. Ervin and I will be back Wednesday. Hopefully Erv will be with us tomorrow too. We'll be talking some NFL. Y'all have a very blessed Tuesday. We're gonna get the fuck out of here so Erv can go do what he gotta do to rid himself of this Broncos L.
Yeah, I'm about to go get some shots of I'm gonna drink some damn E&J tonight.
Oh hell no, that's the worst. No. Hey, y'all have a blessed Tuesday. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Broncos got me fucked up.